We often talk about addiction as if it were a character flaw, as if it were a choice made by bad people in dark alleys. We look at the viral videos coming out of Philadelphia, the images of people bent over on Kensington Avenue, the tents, the squalor, and it is easy to distance ourselves. It is easy to say, that is them, that isn't us. But in 2025, the uncomfortable truth about the crisis in Philadelphia is that it didn't start under the L train tracks. It didn't start with a needle. It started in a doctor's office in the suburbs. It started on a construction site with a back injury. It started in a university library with a pill taken to study harder. The tragedy of Kensington is not just the squalor. It is the sheer volume of potential that has been incinerated. We are looking at a graveyard of dreams. Welcome to Philadelphia Homeless Crisis 2025, when hope turns into addiction. Today, we are not going to focus on the shock value of the zombies. We are going to focus on the human beings inside the bodies. We are going to trace the timeline of how a normal life unravels, how the trap of modern opioids is designed to capture the brain, and how the introduction of Xylazine Tranq has turned a psychological prison into a physical cage. This is the story of how your neighbor, your brother, or your child ends up on the avenue. To understand the end, you have to look at the beginning. We drove 20 minutes outside of the city, to the quiet, leafy suburbs of Bucks County, manicured lawns, two-car garages. This is where the American dream lives, and this is where the nightmare often begins. We met a mother named Linda. Her son, Jason, is currently somewhere in Kensington. 5 years ago, Jason was the captain of his high school wrestling team. He had a scholarship to Penn State. He was the golden boy. He tore his rotator cuff in a match. Linda told us, sitting in a living room filled with trophies, the doctor prescribed Percocet, 30 days worth, then a refill. By the time the shoulder healed, his brain had changed. This is the first phase, the hijacking. Opioids rewire the brain's reward system. They tell the survival center of the brain that the drug is as important as food or water. When the prescription ran out, Jason didn't stop. He bought pills on the street. But street pills are expensive, $30 a pill. So, like thousands of others, he made the economic decision that ruins lives. He switched to heroin. And in Philadelphia, heroin is just a marketing term for fentanyl. We traveled down I-95, the highway that connects the suburbs to the city. It is a pipeline. Every day, cars with suburban license plates exit at Allegheny Avenue. They are coming to buy. When you arrive in Kensington, the environment strikes you. It is an industrial landscape of red brick factories that closed 50 years ago. The infrastructure is broken, but the drug market is thriving. We walk down Somerset Street. It is known as the Walmart of heroin. The dealers are everywhere. The product is cheap, $5 a bag, but for the people trapped here, the price isn't money, it's their humanity. We met a man named Michael sitting on a milk crate. He looked to be in his 50s, weathered and gray, but he was only 32. He used to be a union carpenter. He helped build the skyscrapers that glint in the distance. "I built that one," Michael said, pointing a shaking finger at the Comcast Technology Center. "I poured the concrete. Now I sleep on the concrete." Michael's story is the classic slide. A fall on the job, chronic pain, a dependency that spiraled out of control. "I came down here just to buy," he said. "I thought I could manage it. I thought I could come on weekends." But the drug, it decides your schedule. It decides when you wake up. It decides when you eat. And eventually, you miss a Monday, then a Tuesday, and then you lose the job. Then the wife kicks you out, and then you are here. This is the transition point, when hope turns into addiction. It is the moment when the future disappears. An addict in Kensington doesn't plan for next year. They don't plan for next month. They plan for the next 4 hours. Their temporal horizon shrinks until they are living in an eternal, painful present. But in 2025, the trap has jaws. The introduction of Xylazine Tranq has fundamentally changed the nature of the crisis. Xylazine is a veterinary sedative. It is not an opioid, it doesn't respond to Narcan, and it causes necrosis. We need to talk about the physical reality of Tranq. It eats flesh. We saw people on the avenue with wounds that defy description. Arms wrapped in dirty rags, oozing and blackened. The drug constricts blood flow to the skin, causing tissue to die. This creates a physical barrier to leaving. "I want to go home," a young woman named Sarah told us. She was crying, she had been a nursing student, but look at my legs. She pulled up her sweatpants to reveal deep, ulcerated wounds. "I can't walk to the subway. I can't go to rehab because they won't take me with these wounds. They say I'm a biohazard. So I stay here to use because the dope is the only thing that stops the pain of the holes in my legs." This is the cruelty of the Philadelphia crisis. The drug that enslaves you is also the only anesthetic for the damage it causes. It is a perfect, self-sustaining loop of misery. The city of Philadelphia is overwhelmed. The shelters are full. The hospitals are burnt out. The police have adopted a strategy of containment. As long as the misery stays north of Vine Street, the city continues to function. But inside the zone, the social contract has evaporated. We visited a small church group handing out sandwiches near McPherson Square. The pastor, a man who has lived in Kensington for 40 years, spoke about the loss of soul. "These aren't zombies," he said fiercely. "That's a lazy word. These are people who are in so much pain that they have dissociated from reality. They are burying their trauma under a chemical blanket. Every person out here is self-medicating a broken heart." We saw evidence of the lives they left behind. A sketchbook falling out of a backpack filled with incredible drawings, a pair of reading glasses carefully folded on a cardboard box, a Bible with a name inscribed on the cover. These artifacts are the remnants of the before the prescription, before the divorce, before the trauma. One of the most tragic aspects of the crisis in 2026 is the referral trap. We found that many people on the street were actually sent here by rehab centers from other states. It's known as patient brokering. They come to Philly for treatment, the insurance runs out, the rehab kicks them to the curb, and they are left stranded in the biggest open-air drug market in America. They are castaways. We met a boy, he couldn't have been more than 19, named David. He was from Ohio. "My parents think I'm doing okay," he whispered. "I call them once a month. I tell them I got a job. I tell them I'm clean. I can't break their hearts. I can't let them know I'm eating out of garbage cans." The shame is the final bar of the cage. The shame of what they have become prevents them from reaching out to the people who could save them. They feel they have fallen too far. They feel they are unworthy of rescue. So they stay, they lean, they nod, they fade. As the sun sets over Kensington, the shadows lengthen. The fires in the trash cans are lit. The neon signs of the pawn shops flicker on. The L train rumbles overhead, carrying commuters back to their safe, warm homes in the suburbs. Below the tracks, the cycle resets. The hunt for the $5 bag begins again. This isn't a movie. It isn't a moral fable. It is a mechanical failure of our society. We built a healthcare system that pushes pills. We built an economy that discards the injured. We built a city that contains the problem rather than solving it. And in the middle of it all are the people. People who once had hope. People who wanted to be astronauts, teachers, fathers. Now, their only ambition is to not be sick for the next few hours. The Philadelphia homeless crisis is not about lack of housing. It is about lack of connection. It is about what happens when a human being is severed from their purpose and offered a chemical substitute. As we packed up our cameras, Michael, the former carpenter, asked us for a cigarette. We gave him one. He lit it, inhaled deeply, and looked up at the skyscrapers in the distance, the ones he helped build. "Don't tell people we're monsters," he said quietly. "Just tell them we're stuck." Thank you for watching this investigation into the human tragedy of Philadelphia. It is a story that hurts to tell, but we have to tell it. If you believe that addiction is a crisis of despair, not just a crime, please asterisk asterisk, like asterisk asterisk this video. And please asterisk asterisk, subscribe asterisk asterisk to asterisk asterisk, America's Uncomfortable Truth asterisk asterisk. We will continue to show you the reality behind the headlines. Leave a comment below. Do you think the pharmaceutical companies should pay to fix this? Stay safe, look out for your loved ones, and never stop demanding the truth.